Hello everyone, welcome to another Lunch and Learn. My name is Agustin Sanchez and I'm here at the Downtown Library. And today I'm going to talk to you about Northstar.
Okay, so let's get started on this. As always, if you've seen my videos, you will know that I like to start at the Cincinnati Public Library website. It's just easier to move from here to any of the services we provide. So that's going to be chbl.org. Once you're here, you want to click on services. Once you have this menu, you can see here where it says research databases under research support. We're going to go ahead and click on that. So it's going to give you to all these different databases that we have. And we're going to go by area of interest, and we're going to click on education. So we have all the databases that have to do with education. So we can just scroll down on this one. It's an alphabetical order, so we have to get all the way to the end. And here it is. Northstar Digital Literacy. This icon here means that you will need your library card to get an account from this website. Again, your library card is free, so you can always come to the library and get your library card. But let's check it out before. Here you will have an option of logging in. Once you have your account, you can go ahead and log in. I'm going to give you first the option to not logging in. Let's say you don't want to go through the hassle of creating an account. I know we have a lot of accounts out there, and if you don't want to create a new account, you want to just explore it, you can do that for sure. So let's just click on here, the icon for Northstar, so that it takes us to the beginning of the website. Okay, so right here you can have access to the assessments and the skill building. So let's go ahead and take a assessment here. We're going to choose an assessment. I recommend taking an assessment before you start building your skills, just to see what you already know, and it gives you a good recommendation as to what you need to build upon. So let's go ahead and click on that, and it'll take you to the assessment sections, which it has it divides it into three categories. We have essential computer skills, essential software skills, and using technology in daily life. So if you feel like you're a very beginner here, you can start with basic computer skills. I mean, if you're here at this website, then maybe you know a little bit of internet basics, maybe you know a little bit of computer basics, and you want to expand your knowledge. Maybe you need to learn more about Microsoft Excel. So it's your choice. If you want to take all of them, that's good as well, so that you can refresh on some of the knowledge from basic computer skills and internet basics. So I'm going to start with computer skills. So the reason it's asking you here if you can hear the music is because the questions are going to be written for you, and they're also going to be in audio form. They're going to be read to you. So, hey, you can basically click on next if you can hear the music. If you can't hear the music, you can also click on next. You're not going to hear the questions. If you click right there where it says, I don't hear the sound, it's going to tell you, hey, you can continue without the sound. But it's going to be a little bit more difficult. So you can ask for assistance, or it gives you the option to continue without the sound. For now, let's go back and click on next because we can't hear the sound. So let's click on next. And it takes you to this video. It's an orientation that can let you know how to navigate the test, the website for the test. You're welcome to watch it in your own time. For now, I'm going to skip it. I press start.
Click on the desktop computer.
So it reads the question for you. It's also written for there for you. And then it tells you that it's the first question. And down here it tells you that it's the first question out of 38. If you want to hear the question again, you can click on the play audio again.
Click on the desktop computer.
And if you want to, you can change the speed on that. Maybe it's going too slow, maybe it's going too fast. So you can change the speed on that. This other button here, it says view other questions. So if you click here, you would be able to go back to questions that you've already worked on. You could say, oh, you know what? I think I got number 5 wrong. Let me go back and correct it. So those are the buttons that we have. So it says here, click on the desktop computer. I'm going to say this is a desktop computer right here.
Click on the laptop computer.
Click on the laptop computer.
Click on the touch screen in the picture.
And so on. If you do not know the answer, you can always click on I don't know.
Click on the home button in the picture.
I recommend being honest here because basically it's about getting to know what you're missing, right? So guessing could get you a good score, but it might not tell you later on what you need to work on. So if you don't know the answer, I recommend just clicking I don't know so that, at the end of the assessment, it gives you the recommendation, hey, you need to work on this. One. So here we are at the end of this. The test is question 38. You can see question 38 out of 38. It's asking you to click on the icon in the picture that shows you are connected to the Wi-Fi. For now, I'm going to click I don't know. So we can move to the next one. Okay. So it gives you a couple of options. Submit your answers now, or you can log in to check your unanswered questions. And these are the questions I clicked I don't know. So I didn't. There was a question about logging in. I said I didn't know. Make a computer easier to use. I clicked I don't know on those as well. So I can go back to those questions. Let's
Click on the
that.
settings icon in the picture that can help make the computer easier to use.
And
For
it brings
example, make mouse pointers bigger.
And it brings us to that question I did not answer. I'm going to click on I don't know again. It keeps it here. Let's see. Let's click on the Wi-Fi icon.
Click on the icon in the picture that shows you are connected to Wi-Fi.
I'm just going to answer anything, and it removes it from here. Okay. If you feel you're ready, you can go ahead and submit your answers. You need 85 to pass. I got 73%, so I'm not passing. It says good try, but you need to retry again. And it tells you right here what skills you're good at, master skills, and then it tells you what skills you need to improve. So basically, this is an assessment. You can go ahead and print the results. You can copy the link to the results. You can do all of that here. Again, this is the version that is not where you didn't log in. So there's kind of a limited, it's kind of limited as to what you can do. So I'm going to show you right now what you can do when you create an account. So you can always come in here to digitalliteracyassessment.org, and it would bring you to the Northstar webpage, and you can log in from here. But if you log in through here, you will not be able to sign up for a new account. This is for when you already have an account. If you want to sign up for a new account, you would have to go to the Cincinnati Library website, and we're going to access it the way we access it at the beginning. So we're going to go to Services, Research Databases, Education, and then we're going to scroll down all the way to what it says, Northstar Digital Literacy, and you see how it says that you need a library card. We click on it, and it brings you here. So you type your first name, last name, and then an email. You click on I'm not a robot and then sign up, and it'll bring you here. So it tells you, thank you, check your email for directions to get started with Northstar. And then if you have any questions, it says here you can contact Keith Armour at this email right here. He is the manager of the Adult Learning Center. And if you have any questions on anything related to Northstar Digital, you can send him an email. Okay, so once you have your account, you can log in. So we click on login. It will take you to this place where you just type your email address and your password. And we'll just log in. Now, of course, I'm set up as an administrator, so what I see here is going to be completely different from what you see. But I'm going to show you what you can explore. So let's go here to where it says Northstar Online Learning. It's going to ask you, where are you? Are you at the location? I am not at the location right now, so I'm going to say no. I am somewhere else and say, if you're at the library, you can go ahead and click on yes. But if you're somewhere else, you can always click no, and we'll save that. Okay. Now, it's going to take you to your dashboard. The dashboard is basically where you can see the assessments you have taken. And you can see here that I have a list of assessments that I have taken already. I've taken a couple of assessments from each of the 3 categories. And if we take a look at one of them, let's take a look at one. Here, let's take a look at Microsoft Excel. So if we click on this one, so it gives you the option to start practice. So it basically is gonna go ahead and allow you to practice those things that you need to work on. You can also look at assessment history. You can retake the assessment if, let's say, for example, on the last one I did for you guys, I got a 72. I can retake it so I can get a better one. Hey, if you feel like you can you want an 100%, you can go ahead and retake it all the times that you want in order to increase your score. So we take a assessment history here, and if we click on here under the date taken and then the score, if we click here, it's going to take us to this the results that we had seen before. So this one says you pass. It has the skills that you've mastered. And then it gives you the option to improve some of the skills that you need to work on. So it does give you the option to practice even if it's a skill that you've mastered before. Okay. What does practice do? Let's click on it.
Let's look at how the Excel window is organized and where to find what you need. An Excel worksheet is full.
So it's going to take us to a video that is going to explain for us that particular area that we missed. And then we could basically click on all the ones here from that section. So creating and saving a workbook, everything, you can go ahead and rewatch it here if you want. So again, this is why it's a great idea to take the assessment first, so that you can it can direct you to where you need
Let's
to
look
go.
at how the Excel window is organized and where to find what you need. Now you try it. Click on the active cell.
So it also gives you some exercises. So it's not just watching videos, it also gives you some exercises that you can work on. I'm going to close this for now. It says here that changes I've made will not be saved. That's okay for now. But we're back here. Okay. Again, you can also click on any practice that you need to do again. So you don't have to limit yourself to the ones you missed. You can practice on the ones that you've already done. And that's basically the advantage of having this account. You can go ahead and take it from there and practice what you need to do. You can keep a history of what you've been doing. I'm going to leave this page. And then you can also just go back to the assessments. Again, it's going to tell me that I'm logged in as an administrator. So again, it takes you to the assessments that you can take.
So that's Northstar. So remember, if you want to improve your computer skills, if you want to learn more about computers, it's a great place to start. I hope you take advantage of it, and see you next time.